I made this long freaking video talking about all the stuff to how the planet could come together. You know, all the citizens, we'd all do something for the planet, or we'd all do a couple things. You know, at least in our lifetime, accomplish one thing as a race, a human race. We haven't done anything yet. I don't think we've ever done anything except, try to get rid of this virus, and that's not an accomplishment. That's just an obstacle. But what I think we should start with is litter. We should stop littering. And the only way to stop littering, apparently, is to keep all these people that don't care about stuff, is to get rid of the things that create litter, like packaging, plastic and paper bags at the grocery stores and stores. You don't get those anymore. You have to get a cloth bag, bring it to the store, or your stockpile of plastic bags that you're going to reuse until they're shredded, and bring those to the store. Instead of, we can't just dwindle down. We can't say, well, like Aldi's, well, do you want to buy a plastic bag, or did you bring your own? It's going to have to be no more packaging. It's all going to be, uh, some of this. I don't know how else you do it. Uh, Biodegradable. You're going to have to make everything biodegradable. It can't be trees. Maybe wrap everything in some sort of biodegradable fiber. But I don't think we're not gonna get rid of all this, and like sodas, maybe instead of selling a whole bunch of different, I mean, they're making littler cans, littler bottles. Maybe they should just sell one, like a 5 gallon bottle, and then you just have to somehow stock it up and use one of your sippy cups or whatever, those drink things with the aluminum what do they call them, bouncers, bundle, tumblers. You have to use one of those tumblers for your drinks, because this nobody's going to stop littering until there's no way to litter. Everything is gonna, it's gonna be, whoa, there goes the bag I made, or the bag that's cost me. It's not just some intrinsic garbage that goes floating across the parking lot or leaves your hand. Cloth bag will be heavy enough to where you say, hey, I need this. I can't just let this blow in the wind. And if it did, it'd break down. And I'm not saying it'd break down as easy as, say, I don't know, whatever you're putting in it. And how you gonna package stuff? Well, like I just said, you're gonna have to make it biodegradable. Instead of putting it all in this see-through plastic that you need to take a handsaw or some sort of knife to open them up, because they don't want somebody going around and if it's biodegradable, you could see it right away. I mean, it's not like you're trying to sanitize whatever you got. And if it is sanitary, what is that? Alcohol in a bottle? Maybe you have to take your bottle to the store and run it through a sanitizer and then fill it up, instead of getting a new plastic bottle of alcohol. But we're gonna have to get rid of the things that create garbage, to get rid of garbage, because people don't care. People don't care if they make throw away stuff if stuff slips out of their hand. And I'm not saying you have to have a certain kind of government approved receptacle to put your groceries in, because, well, we can't just have people bringing a garbage can to grocery store and putting all their stuff in the garbage can, because that's just unsanitary. Well, it's either that or because that kind of people is going to try to get everybody. They're automatically thinking, well, if I take my garbage can, my stinky old garbage can, to the grocery store and put all my groceries in it, then people will start complaining about people bringing garbage cans to the grocery store, and they'll have to bring back the paper bags and plastic. And you just have to tell those people, hey, can't bring an old garbage can into the store. You can bring a new one, but it's got to be, cleaned out or whatever. I mean, who's going to do that? I mean, 1 in a million people is going to take the garbage can in, unless that's going to be the new thing. Everybody's going to have garbage cans on wheels to gather their groceries. It should be hard to put in a car. You might be able to put them in a pickup or something, but I think that's the only way to get rid of litter, is get rid of the packaging. Get rid of stuff we don't need. We don't need cigarettes. What's all the stuff we don't need? What doesn't work in society? These manufacturers. You can't just put us out of business. You can't just put cigarette manufacturers. Well, you could manufacture. Everybody was predicting how they'd be. Instead of selling cigarettes, they'd start rolling marijuana. Well, now you can have them, instead of doing cigarettes, you can have them do marijuana. You can have people doing plastic bags. You can make like hemp bags. You make. What are they doing with all the hemp? I mean, are they using it? If they are, they're probably overcharging for it. And if you get it to one of these people that know how to be in business and put a price on it, except for nowadays, they just charge whatever they want. People say, oh, well, we got to pay that. That's how it's always been. No, that's not how it's always been. You've never been seeing a gas war in town, or talk about, it used to be price wars. They don't have that anymore. It's like anybody nowadays, well, there's a price that's cheaper over there, or higher over there, and so everybody raises the price instead of lowering it. They think, well, everybody will just buy that. And that's another thing. If you get something, all these places, if you look for, I don't know what it is, if you go into a hardware store and you're looking for, there's certain places that have it, but most of them all carry the same stuff. They just have different prices on it. And in fact, these companies, they'll package it a little different for each store, but have the same stuff. Or if you look on the internet, it's all the same stuff with different name on it. You can see the packages. Everything's exactly the same. It's just got a different name on it. It's just different packaging or a different configuration. So how do you compare? How do you compare with this stuff? Well, they don't want comparison. They don't want you to say, oh, this is the same thing, only under a different name. Well, it's the same thing, then why don't I get it under these people instead of these people? And they don't tell you all the statistics or all the specifications. If you look up specifications of anything, you go around, you try to find out specifications on a lawnmower engine, a lawnmower, or whatever it is. There are all the specifications going to be different. Like let's just say a hand tool, like a impact wrench or something like that. They're all going to say, well, we measure in force per square inch. Well, that's how, and then another one is going to be pressure. One's going to be force, one's going to be pressure. They're going to have different numbers and different ways of measuring, so that you never can compare. Have you ever noticed that, where you can't compare anything? if you start looking at stuff, you think, wow, all this stuff is so freaking different. All this stuff is marked. It's specifications on it aren't different. The trucks with towing, well, we can tow this under this. Nothing's standard. There's no standards. The standards are gone in this country. The stable. There's no stability in this country. I don't think there's any stability. It's just we're becoming like third world countries. Everything that's bad is what everybody's trying to. It's like everything's stupid and bad ideas is what everybody on this planet is focusing on. Well, that's a bad idea, but we'll make more money on it. So they do that, a bad idea, make more money, get rich, and causes inflation. So maybe inflation is caused by a bunch of bad ideas. Yeah, that's enough. Inflation and what? Letter? That's going to be the title of this.